What's going on, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. If you're an Arsenal fan, you need to sit down for this one, because today we've got not one, not two, but four massive stories. Breaking, and by the end of this video, I think you're going to be as buzzing as I am. We're talking a genuine move for one of the best players on the planet, a departure that's been coming for a while, a midfield battle with Manchester United, and two forward targets who could completely transform this Arsenal attack. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into it. The Vinicius Jr Bombshell. Let's start with the story that's got every Arsenal fan's phone buzzing right now. Vinicius Jr. Now I know. Every summer for the last few years we've heard Arsenal linked with Galactico. Usually it's noise, but this time something feels genuinely different. And here's why. Real Madrid have had a really difficult season by their own standards. They finished well off the pace domestically and were knocked out of the Champions League earlier than they'd have liked. There's a new manager coming in, and behind the scenes, the mood around the Bernabeu has reportedly been far from settled. Right in the middle of that, Vinicius Jr.'s contract situation has become a genuine flashpoint. His current deal runs through 2027, and multiple outlets are now reporting that negotiations over an extension have completely stalled. The gap between what he wants and what Real Madrid are willing to pay is significant. We're talking a difference of well over £100,000 a week in some reports. Real Madrid know they can't afford to let a player of his caliber walk away for nothing. So, if he doesn't sign fresh terms, the club have reportedly accepted they may need to cash in this summer, rather than risk losing him for free in 2027. And here's the part that should get every Arsenal fan sitting up. Intermediaries working for Vinicius have already been in contact with a group of Premier League clubs, and Arsenal are firmly among them. We're also hearing City, United, Liverpool and Chelsea have all been kept in the loop, plus interest from Bayern Munich and even the Saudi Pro League. So make no mistake, if this deal happens, it will be a genuine scrap. But think about why Arsenal specifically makes sense here. Arteta's side just won the Premier League with a squad built on structure, defensive excellence and collective effort. Rice's leadership, Gabriel's dominance, Odegaard's control, Saka's relentless output. What that title-winning side arguably didn't have was a true individual match winner. Someone who can win you a game out of absolutely nothing when the system isn't clicking. Every club that's gone on to dominate for multiple years has had exactly that kind of player. City had De Bruyne and Haaland, Liverpool had Salah, Real Madrid themselves had Ronaldo, and then Vinicius. Arsenal are also known to be actively looking to strengthen the left side of their attack this summer, which lines up perfectly with what Vinicius offers. Some reports have even suggested Arsenal could test the waters with an opening bid, though we'd expect any serious fee to be substantial given his level. Now, let's manage expectations a little because this is still, at its core, speculation. Vinicius has publicly stated he's happy in Madrid and would like to stay if a new deal gets done. Nothing is close to signed, sealed and delivered here. But the ingredients, contract standoff, a club willing to sell rather than lose him for free and Arsenal already in contact, are all there. And for Arsenal fans, even being seriously in that conversation is enough to get excited about. The Manu Kone midfield battle story number 3. Arsenal have reportedly made contact over a move for Roma midfielder Manu Kone, and it sounds like they're not alone. Manchester United are also said to be tracking the 24-year-old Frenchman closely. For those who haven't watched much of him, Kone is a dynamic, box-to-box midfielder. Strong in the tackle, comfortable carrying the ball forward, and still with plenty of room to grow into one of Europe's better all-round midfielders. He's exactly the type of profile that adds legs and physicality to a midfield engine room. Now here's the interesting bit for Arsenal fans. This isn't about replacing Declan Rice or breaking up the current midfield trio. It's about squad depth and competition. Arteta has learned the hard way over the last couple of seasons that a title challenge on multiple fronts requires genuine quality in reserve, not just one elite starting 11. Adding someone like Kone gives Arteta another gear to call on for a grueling campaign that includes the Premier League, Champions League and domestic cups. Manchester United being in the race adds a bit of spice too. Whenever these two clubs go head-to-head for a target, it tends to get more competitive on the financial side, so it'll be worth keeping an eye on how this one develops over the coming weeks. Tzolis Closing In right, story 4, and this one's reportedly closer than people realise. Christos Tzolis. The Greek forward has been a standout performer, and reports suggest Arsenal are edging towards getting this deal done. He's someone who's shown real end product in front of goal and would add another dimension to Arsenal's attacking options, particularly with Trossard's departure opening up space in the squad. What's exciting about a move like this is the timing. If Arsenal can get a forward like Tzolis in early, it gives Arteta a full pre-season to integrate him into the system, rather than trying to bed a new signing in during the opening weeks of a title defence. Early business is good business, and if this edges over the line, it's a really encouraging sign of intent from the board. Morgan Rogers, the top target. And finally, saving arguably the most important story for last, Morgan Rogers. According to multiple reports, Rogers is currently Arsenal's #1 priority in this transfer window, and when you look at his recent form, it's not hard to see why. He's been outstanding for Aston Villa, direct, creative, comfortable running in behind or dropping deep to link play, and he's carried that form onto the biggest stage possible, playing a real role for England during their World Cup campaign this summer. That's the kind of profile that gets scouts and boardrooms excited. A young English talent who's proven he can perform under the brightest lights, at a time when Arsenal are specifically looking to add firepower and creativity out wide. The catch, and it's a big one, is the price tag. Villa are reportedly demanding a fee in excess of £100 million to even consider letting him go. That's a statement valuation, and it tells you everything about how highly Villa rate him and how hard this negotiation could be. But here's why Arsenal fans shouldn't be discouraged by that number. This is a club that has shown, time and again under Arteta and this recruitment team, that they're willing to go big for the right profile of player when it fits the project. Rogers ticks every box. English, homegrown pathway appeal, elite physical attributes, proven big game temperament, and still young enough to improve for years to come. If Arsenal genuinely see him as the priority, that suggests the ambition from the top of the club has never been higher. Picture it for a second. A front line potentially featuring Saka, Rogers, and even a marquee arrival like Vinicius or Tzolis rotating through. That is title defence, Champions League winning level depth and quality. That's the kind of squad that doesn't just win one Premier League title, it builds a dynasty. Trossard's Turkish farewell. Now let's talk about a player heading in the opposite direction, Leandro Trossard. Reports suggest Trossard is set to travel to Turkey this week to put the finishing touches on a move to Besiktas. And look, this one probably won't shock too many of you. Trossard has been an excellent servant to this club, a genuine super sub, a Swiss army knife for Arteta, who could play across the front line and always delivered when called upon. But with Arsenal's squad evolving and younger, higher ceiling options coming through, it makes sense that this chapter is closing. If it goes through, it'll be an emotional one for a lot of fans. Trossard's not a player who ever demanded the headlines, but ask anyone who watched him week in, week out, and they'll tell you how important he's been in big moments. This finale does open up a spot in the squad, and, more importantly, in the budget. And that's relevant, because it ties directly into who Arsenal are looking at to replace that attacking depth. Which brings us nicely to our next story. So, there you have it, Gooners. Vinicius Jr genuinely in the mix, Trossard closing out his Arsenal career with dignity in Turkey, a midfield scrap with Manchester United over Manu Kone, Tzolis reportedly closing in, and Morgan Rogers standing right at the top of Arsenal's wanted list. Individually, any one of these stories would be a big deal. Put together, they paint a picture of a club that just won the Premier League and has absolutely no intention of standing still. This is what ambition looks like. Let me know down in the comments, out of all these targets, who are you most excited about? Would you rather Arsenal push hard for Vinicius, or put everything into getting Morgan Rogers over the line? I want to hear your combined 11 in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Gunners.